The Epstein Files. Like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff, because this is where it gets intense. History about where this land is at. The Cherokees? I don't know you, brother. You mean the Jeep Cherokee? I don't know. But I want that land. Give me that land. Give me that mansion, bro. Bet. Keep that same energy when I go to your house, right? I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but that's just what you're insinuating then. Light work, no reaction. It was all from the Redwood Forest to the Nazi Germans. Ansiata. Like, no, this is so dumb. Why do you think I'm not big? It's because I speak my mind. And I have no shame in it. Jeez. Brother. Do I gotta say this? Over 128 million freaking people decided to watch the Super Bowl halftime show for Bad Bunny. Okay, not TP USA, whatever. It was like 10 million for TP USA. Oh, that's great. Did you see what the freaking people were saying over there at TP USA? This one person was like, grandma beer, fucking whatever it is, bro. I don't understand it. So is that what Americans wanted? Yet 128 million decided to watch the Super Bowl and the halftime show. Unlike when it came to Kid Rock, as soon as Kid Rock went to perform, the viewership dropped. Mind you, this is 120,000 or whatever on freaking YouTube. And then all you saw was it kept on declining. And then all of a sudden you see that on the live stream of TPUSA, even XQC was over here going like, yo, is the chat frozen? Like, what's going on? Like, nobody was freaking chatting on that chat inbox. You know, nobody's over here like, whoa, crazy, amazing. None of that. So that's to say, we already know who out here winning. Benito. But, okay, so the performance occured. All right, Benito, I saw him right away. He over here started with, and then, you know, he kept on going crazy afterwards. He came out with a banger on bangers on bangers, you know? So that was going on. We had little cameos, right, of people, of celebrities. We had this one scene where this couple got married. Apparently it's true. I'm not sure, I'm not sure if it's real or not. I didn't really look too deep into it, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if you in love, baby. You feel me? But that was going on, and then we were over here talking about some kid that has a Grammy in his hands, right? People were saying that it was the child that got arrested or detained by ICE and taken into custody until the father decided to come outside of his house. That they said that it was that kid with like his family right there, but it wasn't. It was just a child actor, and I'm assuming he was trying to portray that, trying to say that that was what was going on, you know. Lady Gaga was there, so it's like Brody brought out a few people. He brought out freaking Ricky Martin. He came out of freaking the woodworks. I'm over here like, ain't no way that Ricky Martin right there, Sonny. It was Ricky Martin. It was my goddamn Ricky Martin. Freaking came out. After he came out? I don't know. But it was crazy. You know, there was some people there, you know. It was fun. I liked it, you know. I liked that she performed that song, If the World Was Ending, I Wanna Have You, and ooh. Dang, you see, I don't ever really hit those high notes like that, but I did today for y'all. But that was what was, I like that. Okay, that was a highlight of my life. There was a scene where there were children. There was that one kid that was right there freaking sleeping in like the little bench or whatever, like seat. We all know that every single Hispanic child has gone through that at least once or twice. You know, like you're right underneath the tables, You underneath the table. The parents freaking set you up with 2 chairs. If they set you up with 2 chairs, dude, that is privilege right there. And then especially if they got their coat right there, they go, you know what, let me fluff it up for you so you ain't as uncomfortable, so we can actually sleep properly, and make it feel like as though we're at home. And not gonna lie, I think that's partially why I can't hear from this year or from this year that well, because we out here at parties as young as 4 years old, one even birth, and we're legit sleeping during parties. We ain't hearing no noise, brother, because we deaf. But that was what was going on. Homage, he's putting homage for that, for real. He for real know about it, the Latino community. And he brought out all these different flags, right, of Latinos. You got Honduras, you got Colombia, you got Chile, you got everywhere, bruh. I saw this one little flag that the little freaking, they got the grass. They were over here freaking doing that. I saw that one with that little, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah. Like, even the grass was over here freaking representing. Like, okay, if grass can represent where they come from, their roots, brother, I feel like America should as well. Might as well. So that was insane. I liked it. There was also, if you saw this, if anybody saw this, point it out. Comment down below. You saw that, all right? There was that one freaking grass. Out of all the grass that was there was just that one grass that was listening to Bad Bunny, and he is over here like, I don't know if it was a guy or girl, but freaking they was dancing. They was dancing on that. They were like, hey. And then all of a sudden, I think somebody set them straight because they stopped. So I think somebody was like, and then like, you feel me? But they had fun. If grass can have fun, y'all can too. If I can have fun, y'all can too. So that's what was happening there. It was, in my opinion, bro. In my opinion, I see this as a unity. He just wanted everybody to be united. Because that's what this state is. I mean, this place, right? Yeah. This country is the United States of America, not the separate state of America. You feel me? And I found out, like, there was this girl that was over here talking so much smack, and it was like Morgan Pierce, whatever. He was over here saying that, he wasn't being disrespectful. He wasn't doing anything crazy. Like, he just said something in the Grammys. He said something like previous to that too, but it was nothing to the extent of, hey, like, Latinos own this place. We run this. It was like, hey, we're all living in one fucking world. And so let's all, convivir. Let's all live together. Let's unite, as a whole. Because you know what? We're more powerful as a whole than we are as a separate unit. And that's all he wanted to do. And so Morgan Pierce, he was over here talking to this girl. I forgot her name. She's irrelevant. But at the end of the day, she freaking started talking so much smack. She had some racial slurs to say. She had some racism. And then we had freaking Donald Trump over here posting something about like freaking monkeys, okay? And we had Biden, we had Obama, and we had Michelle Obama. They were portrayed as monkeys. Biden, I don't remember. I didn't see. I don't know. Maybe something Sleepy Joe. But that's what was going on. And he was over here like, he reposted that. I'm like, how are you going to repost something that's this racist and feel as though people are going to just like it all the time? Like, it's not, it's just plain and simple. It's plain and simple racism. And there was a point in time that he had a lawsuit against him because he didn't want to rent out to black people. So, do you see where I'm coming from now? Racism has started for him since birth. Mind you, his parents, his grandparents weren't from here. But I ain't gonna say it. Bankruptcy, how many times? Lawsuits, how many times? Convicted felon, how many times? Epstein files, we gonna talk about that in a little bit. But, what? How's he president? But, okay, so she tried making it seem as though, okay, Latinos in the United States it's like a minority. Of course, yeah. We are a minority, okay? Mind you, I think she said something around the lines of what Latinos make up 10%. But here are the stats. Here are the stats on this, since she wants to say this, okay? Because I came out with the facts, okay? I came out with the facts. It's a Data USA. All right. As of 2023 to 2024, the United States population is approximately 335 to 340 million, with a demographic shift towards increased diversity. We are diverse in the United States. Okay? The population is roughly 58 and 60% non-Hispanic, white 19%. Okay? Hispanic 12 to 13%. Black 6%. Asian and 3% multiracial, with a 13% foreign-born population. Okay, here's the thing. White, 58 to 60%. Hispanic Latinos of any race, 18.7 to 20%. Black or African American, 12.1% to 13.7%. Asians, 5.6% to 6.7%. Two or more races, multiracial, 2.8% to 10.2%. American Indian and Alaska Native, 0.7% and 1.4%. Hawaiian Native and other Pacific Islanders, 0.2%. And that's from census.gov. Okay? The Hispanic population showed the largest growth between 2010 and 2022. Diversity. The non-Hispanic white population share has decreased from 63.7% in 2010 to under 59% in recent estimates. And I had to do a little bit more fact checking on where people that are white, where they come from, okay? They're Europeans, Middle Eastern, North Americans, North African Americans. That's what makes up the 61%. Brother, y'all ain't even from the United States to even be saying, go back to your country. Y'all ain't even from here. We are the closest state. Mexico. We're closer to the United States than the people that are here. They're native from Europe. So why don't y'all go back to your country then? Y'all bought this land for $2 million, right? Or somewhere around that line. I don't care. Stolen land? Oh my, don't even get me started on what happened with the Billie Eilish thing, okay? Nobody is illegal on stolen land. That is the most factual statement I've ever seen. Yeah, people come over here and they say, oh yeah, then give the land back to the natives. Give the land back to the native Indians. First of all, I don't know if people have noticed, but native reserves are diminishing. They're getting smaller and smaller. There was a time when the native reserve was large, okay? Because they actually gave land to the natives. It was land that was supposed to be given to them so that they could do whatever they want, like crops and all this, and not be disturbed by the government or anything. They were not really... Mind you, there's sources when it comes to the natives that they go into this building that has computers, books, things of that nature. But in native, they don't really use cell phones. They don't use any of that type of technology. They stick to their roots of what being a Native American is. And they started diminishing their reserves. They started making it smaller and smaller. And America knows what they're doing, because the second that they're on a really tight squeeze, they're completely going to take over the land. And that's land that was already promised to the Native Americans. If they sold a portion of the land, if they sold United States as a whole, right, essentially, that they would be given the land, a certain plot of land. So it's been diminishing every single time. And yeah, there's a girl that went and said, oh yeah, then go give it back to the natives. Give it back to the natives. Brother, that ain't freaking natives land no more. Y'all have been taking it and stealing it for centuries. A simple search, a simple Google search, you'll find that the native reserves haven't been getting any bigger. They've been getting smaller year over year. Where did I learn this? I learned this in high school. I learned this in all throughout my history of going to school. Okay, so for anybody that tries and say something to me, freaking search it up real quick and you'll find something. But yeah, so they said that we gon' then give it back to the natives. Give it back to the natives. First of all, yes. I agree that I believe that she could actually do something about it, right? At the end of the day, somebody else made that house, so they stole the land from the natives to begin with. She was unaware of it, allegedly, right? Let's just say it like that. Yeah, let's just hypotheticalize this scenario. Oh, I want to buy that house. That house is really nice. How much? Okay, sounds good. I ain't asking no history about where this land is at. The Cherokees? I don't know you, brother. You mean the Jeep Cherokee? I don't know. But I want that land. Give me that land. Give me that mansion, bro. So then she bought the mansion. And so now there was an instance that occurred that somebody broke into her mansion, right? What did she do? Called the cops, rightfully so. They are police to be there to help ensure that she doesn't get killed or anything. So clearly, yes, she did the right thing by calling the cops. But then there was a thing that was saying that they were saying, oh, but it's stolen land. So free for all. You can come go to my house and steal anything. If you were to say this thing, if that person that said that exact same thing, okay, then bet. Keep that same energy when I go to your house, right? I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but that's just what you're insinuating then. It's okay then to rob your home. Okay, got it. Light work, no reaction. Say less. But that she was right to say that and do that. Call the cops, boom, boom, got the person arrested. Done. Or so we thought. Then people started going into knocking on her house. Okay, well, they're buzzing, okay? Because they wanted to be like, okay, then, so I can come to your house and steal, right? Yeah, brother. Like, okay, just because she said the whole comment about no one is illegal on stolen land doesn't give you the right to think that it's okay to go to somebody's house. Dox them. Like, what if I went to your house because I found out that, oh, dang, like, you're doing this type of video stuff? Okay, let me go into your house, see how you like it. No. You came into the natives' land to begin with. Brother, we knocked, broke in, stole the land. That's what she meant. Knock. We're going to take your land. But, oh, we bought it. $2 million. Oh, yeah, guess how much the land is worth today, right? No. $2 million. That was nothing. That was nothing to them. That was paper. They said, we don't want it. But if we, it was like being held at gunpoint. Hey, if you don't sell us your land for $2 million, We're going to kill you guys. We're going to abolish you guys. You guys don't exist. You never existed in the books. And if they had a chance, they would have eradicated everybody there. You know, there would be no history on the Native Americans there. But, oh, the Native Americans, they were already being cannibals. Freaking, they were being savages. Freaking killing each other off as it is. We were just here to clean it all up. Oh, clean it all up? You mean freaking steal it all up, brother? That's what y'all were doing. At the end of the day, war is war, right? It's happened all over the world. It's not right for you to go into somebody's home and still steal it. That is the premise of the whole entire thing. You cannot be stealing something at all. Okay? They freaking technically stole it, but we bought it, right? There's a legal agreement. But yet, the person that sold the land and decided to agree wasn't even the chief. So somebody random signed the freaking proclamation saying that, yes, this land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. Like, it was all from the Redwood Forest to the Nazi Germans. Ansiata. Like, no, this is so dumb. The argument is dumb. People that think that way are stupid. Brain dead. Dude, why do you think I'm not big? It's because I speak my mind. And I have no shame in it. I have no shame in being honest with myself. But that occurred. Whatever. It blew my mind that people think it's okay to go into somebody's house. And so I stand for her. I hope that she's doing fine. I'm not sure why people would cancel her. It's the dumbest reason why. I don't get it. But whatever. I set my piece on that. Okay, so Morgan Pierce. I gotta think because my brain is a little bit fried off of that just little tangent. What was it? She said that. Oh yeah. I forgot. But I got another one. That's cut right there right away. But this is what's going on with another situation with Donald Trump and him talking about the housing market. He doesn't want to fix the housing market because if he fixes it and if he lowers housing prices, that will make the people that are already homeowners poor. First of all, I don't necessarily believe that it would make somebody poor. You may be asking why. Why, Michael? Because a lot of people that have bought homes over the years, they've purposely bought the homes for the sole purpose of having it for their families, passing it down through generations. But people also, yes, do buy it for home equity and for reinvestments for later on, right? Like they sell the house later on in a few years for a profit. But I don't think people understand that when people there's like this market that goes around, right? Real estate investors, people that own duplexes, that own like houses in general, townhomes. I don't think you guys know that these people are CEOs somewhere else. Like, they freaking already own a big building for office space, whatever. Like, they're already a big corporation as it is. And this is all kind of like a monopoly type of thing, you know? And so then they start selling that house for a certain price. Sometimes they don't even sell the house. They just rent it out. And so then they make a profit off of that. And they just keep on doing it that way, and they just choose not to actually sell the home. And then when it goes skyrockets all the way up, then they sell for a profit, for a major profit. Because at the end of the day, these are big corporations, and they could sell the housing at any price that they want. Why? Because they own so much of it, so much of real estate, that they can sell it whenever they want. That's exactly how it is with franchises. That's how it is with what is it? Wendy's, we could say, mattress firms. I don't know if y'all know, but that's how they really make their money. Mattress firms. They freaking sell a mattress here and there, and then they sell the plot of land years ahead. Like they do it as a long-term investment so that they can get a lot more money from that plot of land. So like if you see your mattress firm somewhere around and then you have the sign that says going out of business, okay, it's not that they're going out of business, it's that they're just getting rid of their inventory so that they could sell the whole plot of land for a massive profit. I don't know if you guys knew that though, but now you do. Your unc status, bro. Your uncle status here, brother. But that's how it works. Daddy Trump does not want to help out the poor, the less needy. That's what he said. He tried saying that like I'm not gonna do that. For somebody young, I'm not gonna do that. No. He forgets that something around the lines of like, it's like, I'm not going to do that for the younger generation that didn't have to work as hard. Like they can get a job and freaking pay for a house full price. It's like, okay, we want, but he wanted to do this. He wanted to do this. He didn't want to make housing more affordable. He just wanted to make it that the housing, that you can rent it for a good lower rate, Thank you, brother. We can't own, but we can rent for a fixed rate. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Uncle Trump, what's up? Okay. So that occurred. Okay? But now we can get to the actual important stuff. What? The Epstein files. I don't know if y'all know this. There was a ghost. I don't know if y'all know this. Come a little closer. But Epstein had his own movie called Blink Twice. Blink Twice, brother. Search it up. Watch it. Freaking, we got Channing Tatum. He's in this film, okay? So watch that movie before anything else, okay? Like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff, because this is where it gets intense. Okay. So Jeffrey Epstein had an ex. Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever her name is, because she's in jail for 20 years. Why is she in jail? She did nothing wrong. She only co-conspiracied and conspired to, abduct children and coerce them into being into this island and being transported into frickin' New York. Freaking all these other places, into the islands, into the yachts, because you know what? He has yachts parties, or he likes to call them pizza parties. Them pizza parties. Brother, why wasn't... I ain't gonna say it. But he invited quite a few people into this island. And into the yacht parties, but... Okay, so she's doing 20 years, right? Which I think is honestly such a fair amount of time. That's a fair amount of time. She can get pardoned at any moment, mind you, if she doesn't speak. If she says nothing and stays silent, okay. She pled the Fifth Amendment, right? 14th, 15th, whatever. I don't fucking care. She pled some sort of freaking thing, bruh. Some sort of amendment. Because these things are actually meant to protect. At this point, this is what it feels like to me, okay? It feels like it's to protect the powerful, the rich. Because why is it that you're gonna plead the Fifth Amendment? Like, let me make sure, because you know what? If y'all ain't gonna believe me, Google will. Okay, what amendment did Ghislaine Maxwell? How do you say did Ghislaine Maxwell? Let me see. Ghislaine Maxwell. No, they don't. What? You see, they don't even wanna freaking have me search it up good. Let's see. There you go. Ghislaine Maxwell invoked her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination during a closed-door virtual deposition. She repeatedly refused to answer questions regarding her role with Jeffrey Epstein and potential co-conspirators, citing her right of silence while serving a 20-year sentence. Okay, well, which ones did she actually refuse to answer? Ready, guys? Because y'all don't believe me. Hello, I would like to tell you. I cannot tell you because I don't know. Okay.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear.
Mind you, she was supposed to actually comply. She was supposed to comply with this, with all of that, the questions that she was getting asked. She was supposed to comply. You know, it's the same question that was asked to Jeffrey Epstein years ago when he was asked, how close are you to Donald Trump? And he said, although I would like to answer that question, as of right now, I would like to freaking invoke my Fifth, whatever, and 14th Amendment or 15th Amendment, whatever it was. Same is going on here. It's like, what are they not telling us? Because why would you have to invoke any type of amendment in just a simple question? Oh, do you know Donald Trump? Yeah, I've met him a few times. You know, me and him are cool. Leave it at that. Simple. Answer a question. But the fact that you have to invoke these amendments and say that I would much rather my Fifth Amendment, it's like, it's telling of what type of dirt they have on Donald Trump as it is. Like, I allegedly, bro was in the islands. But, you know, like, you can't really say that stuff, right? It's not like he isn't mentioned hundreds of times in the files. But yeah, they invoked their amendment, the rights, whatever, to silence, because they didn't want to answer questions that would, quote unquote, this is to incriminate themselves. That's what the amendment is for, right? Yet they invoked it when it wasn't relating to anything. Like, oh, do you know Jeffrey Epstein? Like, what was your relationship with Epstein? We already knew y'all were together. Just admit it. So that's what was crazy about that. All right, I'm back. It was hot. It was hot, and I'm hot. I'm scorching. All right. So this is what she was invoking, right? Whatever. I have the names of some people over here, all right? Some names, all right, of some people that are very, very powerful. Okay? Elon Musk was named in these files, okay? In these pedophiles. Freaking Elon Musk, man. Freaking Harvey Weinstein. Names of where are the lists, brother? You see how long it actually takes to find all these things? Like, this information on Google is like the worst way to find things usually, because it's like you have to like be so specific now. Back then, you did not have to be this specific on anything. You were just able to freaking just search something up and you'll be able to find it. Now they just make everything so much harder and harder. But let's see here. Woody Allen, Josh Kabak, Noam Chomsky, Andrew Farkas, Alan Dershowitz. Okay? Bill Gates. Come on, man. This crazy, man. Bill Gates. Joe Gibbs. Giazzo. You see all now we getting crazy. Barry Allen, like freaking, we got all these type of names, bro. Ghislaine, obviously, Robert Maxwell. Okay, mind you, Ghislaine Maxwell, she's already rich. You know, she was already worth like what, 10 million or whatever. Like, her family had made a trust or whatever for her, and that's how she got her millions of dollars. She got rich off of that. But the names on these files for instance, Elon Musk was named multiple times. He had multiple emails with Jeffrey Epstein, him talking about, hey, when am I going to go on the island? And then Jeffrey Epstein going and saying, brother, you just let me know. I got the plane, the private. I got the heli. I'll pick you up in the heli. And then they arranged some sort of date. But somehow that email, I didn't see any email saying, all right, we have landed, or I'm here, where you at? There was no emails on that type of stuff. I'm not sure. So there was that was one thing that was said, and it was multiple exchanges. You know, Epstein said that he only had not Epstein, freaking Elon Musk only had like a little encounter. You know, they were telling him to go on the island. He said, nah, I'm good, bruh. And then Elon is over here going and saying like, yo, when is your like most extravagant freaking party gonna be? And it's like, what you mean? What you mean, when is the most extravagant party gonna be, bruh? Why do you want to know this information, brother? What you got? So it was that, and then it was like something around the lines of arranging breakfast or something together so they could talk, brother. And then there was another email that he said something around the lines of, I'm stressed, man. I really need something to get the edge off because, you know, I've been working really hard in SpaceX. And then Elon over here, Epstein going, technically they're both the same at this point, bro. Epstein going like, sure, well, when you gonna be here, bro? We got you, man. You need a massage. You got a massage. You need a massage. Just let me know. Bill Clinton, another one that was named in the files, he spoke out and he said, hey, Let's talk about it in public. Let's talk about it. Let me air it all out. That was a good step of him to do, right? To say, hey, okay, then let's talk about it. Then why did the White House decide let's record it, but keep it private? Department of Justice, was it? I don't know. DOJ? They wanted to cover it up again? What are you trying to cover up, brother? This is the only way that they should have kept it. Everything should be out in the public at this point. Because why are you trying to privatize anything? It's crazy that I think a lot of freaking Americans are just going to be this naive and be like, yeah, you know what? I think they're doing the right thing. You know, I think they're trying to protect the victims. I don't even think he's going to name a victim. I think he's going to name the pedophilic tendencies that all these rich people have. But you know what? Guess what? The government came out, or the DOJ, whatever, whoever, Department of Justice, Department of whatever, Homeland Security, I don't care. They came out and they said, we found nothing. There was no evidence that convicted anybody else other than Ghislaine Maxwell and freaking Jeffrey Epstein. Then why are their names? Why are their names, huh? Where do these names exist? Why do they exist then? Why is it that the person of Victoria's Secret name is on that list? The person that gave Jeffrey Epstein all his wealth, all that moolah. We not dumb. And then the person that recruited girls for freaking Victoria's Secret, Hollister, he dead. Died in prison. So riddle me that, brother. Why are all the people that went on Epstein Island, why they getting off left and right? Think about it, brother. Coincidence? I think not. Yahtzee. There was coded words, coded language. Pizza. When's the pizza party? Let me search this up. Epstein, freaking puzzle words, freaking riddle words. What was it? Epstein code words. Look. Let's see. Okay. Reported code words and euphemisms. Massage. Snow White. Disney princesses. Alleged and civil filings during emails Epstein or associated to Jess Staley to refer to young women. Okay. Present. Used in some exchanges to describe women being introduced as associates. Harem. Used in email communication which spoke to refers to the women in Epstein's team. Schoolgirl. Servitude. Terms listed legal search warrants targeting Epstein and Epstein's communication. Hot tub. Used in emails between Jess Staley and Epstein, often accompanying photos of women. Yeah, there was somebody that was just like the recruiter, okay? He would freaking say that he's in a modeling agency and take pictures, ID pictures, all that stuff, and send it straight to Epstein. Brother, why would you need to have all these images of these women? I don't understand. The girls frequently used with context implying they were under or victims of trafficking. Food-related terms, okay? Pizza appearing over 900 times in various contexts in the files. Grape sodas, cookies often appearing alongside pizza. Cream cheese. Okay, brother. There was a email that said this person was good. This person tasted good. What are you trying to say? This was a whole entire thing all about cannibalism. I don't know if you guys know. There are pictures of it on the files that got released. Then again, I'm not sure if they got redacted now. But that was another thing that occurred. I'm not the person to really specify anything, okay? I apologize. But that's because I don't really like looking into all this stuff. It's crazy as it is, knowing anything here, you know? So, if I know a lot about something, I think I want to dumb it down for everybody. Because, truthfully, why am I getting too detailed? No. Y'all don't need to know anything else. I just tell you what it is. I just be straightforward. Straight shooter, brother. I straight shoot it. Pow, pow. But those codes were used in it. All right. So, oh my God, bro. It's crazy. All right. Investigation findings. Prosecutors and investigators have not officially confirmed all rumored food-related codes such as walnut for person of color for external unverified lists. Like, come on now. At this point, they're just saying, okay, this is alleged. This is alleged. Okay, brother. Alleged these nuts up your ass. Like, bro, I can't with this, man. So they would say things like the person was good. Like, what are we gonna? I don't know, man. That's just one of the things. And then there was another email that was like human incubator used, and that was to insinuate impregnation, and he liked that. And then there was an email that said, congrats on your daughter or son. I don't recall, but it was one of the two. So Epstein has a son. Epstein has a child, or he might have eaten it. They said that the people tasted good. Cream cheese. I am very ill from hearing those words, bro. Especially from these type of people. And then there was another video or something that came out, and it was of him just going like this with his face. So it was like a straight up video of him, but then people are saying that is caused due to eating human flesh and human meat and whatever. So it's like, that's quite weird. And then there was a hole in the middle of the island inside the building, whatever, and it led straight to the ocean where I guess they would dump the bodies so that sharks can eat them. I don't know how true that one is, because it's like, it's in the middle of the island or somewhere around the island, but it's like, how is there a trap door leading straight to the ground and there's water underneath the island? I don't know. I don't get that one. But if you guys haven't seen it, the movie Blink Twice, watch it. It kind of leads to sedation, and they feed them food. Like, everything is all fun and games, like exactly how the Epstein is. It's a party. They're having fun, and all of a sudden they like come out with like cuts, bruises, and they don't know how. You know, they get invited into the island. It's like, it's going to be all fun and games. You know, they sedate them. They give them drugs and all this. And they think it's all fun and dandy. And all of a sudden they wake up and like, what happened? Like, they don't know anything that happened. And then all of a sudden they see that they got a scar somewhere. And it's like, how did I get this scar? And then they just go around the day. And they're like, oh, yeah. Do you not remember you hit your head this day, whatever? And then she's like, no, I don't recall anything. But thanks for helping me. And then they're like, oh, these girls are dumb when they're like under. And it wasn't until I think at one point they stopped taking a certain drink, and then they started coming to, and then they realized, they were like, oh shoot, these guys have been doing this to us this whole time. And it's the rich doing this stuff. So that's to say that Epstein Island had all these rich folks coming into the island, doing anything they wanted. And at the end of the day, the girls would either die or they would sedate them, give them drugs, anything of that nature. So you be the judge, all right? I don't know what else. Is that all I got for today? Maybe. If y'all want me to do a whole video actually detailing every single thing that is being said, just let me know, because I will be as precise as I can be for you guys, with still just having it short, because short terms people, you feel me, like me. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this episode of UNC Status, please drop a like, comment down below, and as always, guys, subscribe for a new video. Trust me, I'm getting there, all right? I'm getting there. I'll try and do it 2 times a week for y'all. I'll try. No promises this time. And as always, new logo too, okay? But anyways, it's been your boy, Michael Cuevas, and this has been UNC Status, episode 53. And I am out. Peace.